Hello everybody and welcome. If you look at the front of my HP workstation, you're gonna notice that the audio ports are covered. When I ordered this workstation, it didn't have a CD-ROM drive and it also didn't come with the audio option. I'm very curious in identifying and documenting all the audio applications for HP UX and also seeing how this workstation behaves under Linux. So, I ordered from a reseller in Germany the official audio option from HP for this machine. It's a very simple card. It has a PC speaker output, auxiliary in, CD in, and this front panel connector that should connect there to the front port, right? It does include digital audio in options. It does include a game port, and I can see here that also the connections for here speakers are missing. So it's basically a simplified version of what seems to be a CMI 8738 sound chip. It in theory has 6 channels, but without the connectors you don't get any of this. So when HP UX starts loading, you're gonna see now that it's going to bypass the audio card. So there is no audio driver there. Let me see. It should be coming soon. There you have it. Start audio server daemon. The system is gonna skip it. And I'm hoping that once the card is detected, it's gonna automatically enable it. Otherwise I'm gonna have to find out how to enable subservices. See, not available. First part of the fun is to move the beast out of the way. With that being done, all we have to do is lift this latch here and open the side panel. So this cable here contains the FireWire connector that I'm gonna sort out later on with some FireWire card with an internal port. It's gonna probably work fine on Linux. And this is the cable, this other cable here goes to the audio card. So what I'm gonna do here now is just untie this here, and this should be enough to come through with it somehow. There's a bag here, not a bag, a gap back here, and I'm just gonna route the cable under off camera and pass it through to this side. It seems that it's a bit too short. I may need to break or not break that seal over there to separate it from the small X power cable. It's not even, you can tie it back. So I'm gonna take it out of the tie, route it behind there, and we should be good to go. So this is now the end of the cable, and I pass it through the gap here. Let me refocus. Alright, so the gap is here, and this is where the power cable connector comes through, and also like SCSI activity and so on. It was easy to route it, and there is a lot of extra cable here, so it easily gets to the end where the card will be slotted. And I'll use the top 2 PCI slots here, one of them, because the other ones are PCI 64-bit, as you can see, and the AGP one is already occupied by the FireGL card. I think this is the setup HP intended, one slot for the audio card and the second slot for the FireWire card. But for now, I routed through only the audio cable because I don't need the FireWire cable yet. How we can remove the graphics card retainer, because for some reason it covers not only the graphics card but the PCI slots. It says here releases, so I'm supposing that you squeeze both of them here. They're incredibly tough. The retainer is out, and so the manual says that you have to push these 2 tabs here and then rotate it outwards like this. It made such a big and loud bang, and I heard some plastic thing falling somewhere, so I need to inspect the computer inside, even though apparently maybe broke a small side of it, or maybe it's just a seal to prove that it hasn't been tampered with. The cards are all very light, so I don't know why this is here, but well, it exists. And you see there are these rails here, and the graphics card, you know, is attached to one of them. You know, you just slide them through here. So to put it back, I'll probably have to first connect this first part here and then rotate it backwards, and I hope I'll succeed. It was incredibly tough to squeeze in. Like outside it goes easily, but when it's connected and attached to the workstation, it just you don't have enough room to make this motion here and push it through properly. And now another step that's very hard to understand. The manual says to push in these two retainers, and I hope this here is not my blood already. No, it's not. Pushing these two retainers somehow, but there is no room for any motion, so I don't know how they expect you to push this in. And then at the same time, with some ghost hand that you may have somewhere, you have to rotate the PCI lock outside. So again, this is another step I'm gonna try off camera, because this is just, it would take forever. So yeah, at the other side of the chassis. So let me try on this one. Pushing. Yeah. Now the whole assembly is loose. It's quite clever actually, just the instructions are very poorly written. Now I can just take the PCI slot cover out. Really? Everything's gonna be super stuck? I'm gonna surely cut myself today. It's out. I'm gonna keep it somewhere because it's original. And now it's time to slot the card in. This is going to be the easy part. And the card has the cut through to fit this slot, so you can see it's an official HP part. This is very interesting. You can see it here. Let me show it with my tweezer. So it's here, right? So there is this small dent here for the card to fit. So if I want to take an HP card, I'll probably need to modify it to fit in, which means I'll probably have a problem to find a FireWire card. I can just slide the lock back in. Both sides clicked, and I will see if I manage to... Oh, before, let's connect back here the audio card. Beauty. So the front panel should be functional. Now, so in theory, you oh, these retainers are really tough. They're very springy. The spring is very strong, so the card doesn't fall off. That's why it was so hard to take it out. So I think I figured it out. There are two arrows here. One is gonna hold the upper slot, and the second one the lower slot. And if you look here, there are these two gaps, and this is where the clip of the retainer will go, and I will rotate it like this. So let's try. This thing has a lot of pressure, so I'm really afraid of damaging the cards. Ah, it's in place. It's a quite interesting design, but it seems to hold the cards there fine. Now we put the chassis cover back. And the final touch is to remove the cover from the front panel. Yep. Just some rivets. And we're good to go. Now it's the moment of truth. The services are loading. And let's see if we're gonna get the audio subsystem. I didn't see it. I blink. Ah. So this is the situation now. If I do an I/O scan, you can see here that PCI audio has been detected, but it's marked as unknown. The class is unknown, yeah? If I go to cards here in SAM and I go add, well, I need to make sure that the drivers are configured into the kernel. So and I have this char drive here. I don't know what it's supposed to do. I'm not gonna add this. If I go add, do OK. So let's see if I can go to, let's see, kernel configuration, drivers, and let's do audio, add driver to the kernel, and let's see if there is anything. I don't know what this chart drive is supposed to do. I'm not going to touch it. Anything else? Probably not. So let's do actions. Process new kernel. And run it. I hope I'm not gonna break my system. Move kernel into place and shut down rebooting system now. Sounds good. And the system will reboot. Let's see if we get audio now. And still not available. So let's see now. I probably have to go to SAM and add the card over there. Alright, so here in cards I see the audio interface, and if we go to I/O scan, I should see that it's using the audio driver. Let's see. And yep, plug in PCI audio with the audio driver. Let's see now what happens if I try to open the audio recorder. Unable to access the audio hardware. Let's see, the audio server is not running. Check audio server. Let's try. So let's see if it's running. I hate this keyboard. grep. We don't have grep, so let's try to see if we have the audio server running. Probably not. Oh, this is stupid. Let's try then, as it suggests audio being server. That's it. Can I copy and paste from here? Oh yes. And should be running. So let's try again. Ooh, super. Speaker headphone line out. Okay, so it's probably not initializing automatically, which is fine. I can sort this out later. Open the audio editor. What kind of file does it support? I have no idea. So I can record at different sample rates, playback. I can use a CD as an input. Not sure. Yeah, I don't have the CD audio connected. Let's try to record something. Right, I connected the microphone to the port, and let's see if I'll be able to record anything. So input device, microphone mono, data rate, let's try 44,100 I mean, and we go and tap record. Hello, I record. Oh, there is input. Hello, hello. Now we are recording audio with the most probably the least useful audio recording application ever under HP UX. Let's now see how the playback quality goes. I connected a headphone to the headphone port, and I can already see that this is extremely noisy. Let's just play back and see what happens. Okay, I cannot show you that, but it sounds really bad. It has a lot of, it's not well grounded. The quality is not good. I can hear feedback, and there is like a high-pitched, whiny sound in the background. But it works, and it will be part of me trying to use this workstation as my daily driver for a while. I will be able to at least listen to some music. Let's see. Wait for my HP UX full walkthrough at some point in the near future. I'm gonna try to sort out a capture card, so this is gonna be more interesting. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.